What's up, everybody? Tim Conley here, and I've got a coaching session that's going to answer a very, very crucial question. Why do I always get lowball clients? Why do I have people coming to me who don't have any money, who cannot buy my services? They come into a qualification call and they just say, that's too expensive, even if your rates are crazy low. So to learn how, check it. All right, Adora, awesome to have you.
Yes, thank you for having me.
All right. So tell me a bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, I am a social media digital marketing consultant. So I specialize in really helping businesses get seen on their social media and really try to help them brand on social media. And so that's kind of what my brand is. I'm the girl in momentum. I'm always in momentum, trying to help you get from level Z to level A. And so that's kind of where I'm trying to really brand myself. And I've been watching your channel for some time now. And I went from not branding at all into doing a personal brand, which is my Girl in Momentum brand.
All right, cool. I like it. So what's the problem then? You've been watching me, so there shouldn't be any problems.
You're right. It really shouldn't be, right? Well, well, there is a little problem. Like I said, when I started, I didn't have any personal brand. I was just kind of going out there, cold emailing and trying to get people's attention and, putting my hand up. And of course that wasn't working. And so as I continue to watch your videos and your teachings, then I figured, okay, he's right. I should start creating my own personal brand and standing out and putting out content. And so I started doing that. And I'm getting the attention. It's just that I'm not drawing in people who are financially ready to take their business to the next level. For instance, I have had several calls where people want you to talk for free. They want you to tell them what they should be doing on their social media for free. They don't want to pay for a consultation. Oh, it's too expensive. And I know I probably have the cheapest prices in the land, but, but I'm getting that feedback like it's super expensive. I know it can't be. I know it's not expensive. I know that if I was on the other side, I would definitely want to invest in what I have to offer. So what I'm trying to figure out now is, how do I position myself to draw people who are really ready to invest, and I don't have to do so much, like pulling a tooth out of a tiger kind of selling.
Okay. So why do you think this is the case? Why do you think you're attracting those kind of people?
I don't know, Tim. I have a lot of excuses on why it could be. I don't know. I could be too friendly looking, young. I don't know. It could be a series of things. It could be the content I'm putting out. I don't know. I'm not sure. Why do people feel like, oh, she's the cheaper option rather than the most quality option?
Right. So it's not young, because I know there's a lot of white all over this mug right here, but when I got started, I had a baby face. So,
okay, good. There's hope for me.
Right. So it wasn't young. That was the issue. Right.
Okay.
It's always about, how does somebody perceive you? Do they perceive you as the thing they wish to do business with, or do they perceive you as the person they want to hang out with?
Okay.
So that's the start of it. If people are seeing you as the cheaper option, you have to be putting out cheap vibes, right?
Yeah.
It's the only way it works. It only works like that. So I did take a look. You sent me your website, and then I went and snooped on your Instagram, and I went snooping over at LinkedIn, and so I can tell you right off the bat, because I have worked with a lot of women online for a long time now, and all y'all do essentially the same thing.
Oh no, what do we do, Tim?
You want to look nice and friendly.
Yeah,
That's it. Like
yeah, that's
it's
true.
it's not business. It's
Okay.
personal. It's a personal blog. It's
Yep.
a we're all in this together sort of thing. It's like
Yep.
I don't hire my doc. I don't go to my doctor and go, hey, I only want a doctor who's in this with me. Like you got to be just as sick as me, doc. Right?
That's true. That's so true.
So people go to the doctor because the doctor is special, is an expert, and they portray themselves that way.
Right.
There's absolutely no reason for a doctor to wear a lab coat. None.
There really
They
isn't though. They don't do any surgery.
exactly. So they're not trying to keep bodily fluids off their clothing. So why do they wear a lab coat?
Well, it really gives you that perception that, they've studied, and they really know what they're talking about. If they came in without a coat, you would kind of wonder, are they actually a doctor or are they someone else? Are they a nurse
Yeah.
or someone else?
Or like, did somebody just walk in off the street?
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
is this like the that movie Catch Me If You Can? Like, it's like, who am I talking to here? Like, did you just
Right. I
so,
know, I
so
would definitely ask.
right? So the lab coat is a is a costume. It's decoration that separates the doctor from you.
Right.
It makes you think, oh, this person is special. How do I know? Because I got a coat on. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
I'm going to go after the person who's got the uniform that describes what they solve.
Right.
Right.
Totally get that.
So your uniform is um, the girl blog, right?
Yep.
That's what you put out. I looked at like your Instagram, and you've got
Mhm.
lots of pretty flowers on it. Lots of
Yep,
pretty
I do.
flowers.
Yep.
Yeah, and and the thing is, I like flowers, but I
Right.
never hire somebody who's putting out pictures of a bunch of flowers unless I wanted flowers.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
Unless I wanted to buy some flowers or buy pictures of flowers.
Okay.
Like I literally this morning took pictures of some desert flowers. I take pictures of flowers everywhere I go on this planet,
Wow.
right?
I love flowers though.
Yeah, and how many flowers have you seen on this channel? How many flowers have you seen on my
Zero.
Instagram? Exactly.
Zero.
Zero. Right? Because that's not the expertise. That's not the
Right.
level of expertise I want to portray. I'm a
Right.
terrible photographer, but I still take pictures of flowers for my own personal consumption.
Right.
Okay?
Nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely nothing wrong with it. So you've got to decide, who do you want to be? Do you want to be the girl with flowers, or do you want to be the girl getting paid?
Definitely the girl getting paid because she can buy more flowers.
Exactly. Yep, yep. So one of the things that you can do is to um, take your site and take all your social media and just make them a little more conservative in tones, color
Okay.
tones, right? So your
Okay.
color palette is all over the place, really bright and everything.
Yeah.
Business, people want to see stable,
Mhm.
or they want to see something that is flashy, like really over the top catchy, right? So if I'm going to do marketing, I'm looking for the person uh, who's like way over the top. Or I want somebody who's going to do marketing that's like, hey, we're a bank. We don't want that. We don't want rock and roll. We want Vault. right? Like, so who you're going after determines on what you want to look like.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Your site targets
Mm.
women entrepreneurs.
It feels that way now because that's all I keep talking to are entrepreneurs.
But you advertise to the world that's
Mhm.
what you do, right?
Oh,
You look at
okay.
all your social media, look at your
Mhm.
website, you say this is who I am because here's
Mhm.
my costume.
Okay. See, I didn't realize. I guess I from the inside, I just didn't realize what I was saying. I thought that the pretty flowers and all that would attract more people, but I didn't really think about what people. I thought they would come ready already, but that's not the case.
Yep. Yep.
It's just not happening that way.
No, nope. It will not attract the right people.
Okay.
It will attract, kind of like mommy bloggers or something like that. That's who's going to be attracted to it. Uh,
Okay.
right? So if you want to do social media, who do you want to do social media for?
Mhm.
That's the first question. Like, who am I serving?
Mhm.
And then I put on the right costume
Mhm.
for them.
Yeah, because I've been telling myself that I really want to target people who are already established, but they need that extra assistance in their social media strategy. And
Hmm.
so far, I've just been, like you said, kind of drawing people who are brand new to business, and they kind of have no idea what they need, but they just need something cheaper, just to get them
Right.
started. And that's not who I want to be. So
Okay. So
I
so
need
who
another costume here.
yeah, yeah.
Sure.
So like the way I look is purposeful. Like
Right.
I don't want to do work for any company that is so stuffy
Hmm.
that my looks would turn them away. Actually, by having the long hair and the beard and all that stuff, I attract the kind of company that wants to try to do something new.
Okay.
Because they look at me and go, he's either homeless or creative, one of the two,
Right.
right?
Right. Exactly.
So who do you want to work with?
I want to work with a company or a business person. They can be a business person who is, like I said, they're already established. They've already got a name for themselves, but they need me to come in and really help them with their strategy because I'm the expert in social media.
Okay.
And I want them to be able to afford my time, like you always say on your channel. Afford that time for me to even talk to you just for your strategy and things like that. And right now I'm getting the people that are like, oh, I don't really want to pay for the strategy, but can you look at my social media? It's like, no, like I have to pay for things. I have to keep the lights on too. So
Right. Right. Okay. So then who do you think is established?
see, that's the next question. I'm not sure like how to narrow that down. Like, cause I've worked with coaches and speakers and things like that. Some of them are well known, like they've spoke all over the US, and some of them are brand new. They're just getting into it. And so I don't know how to narrow it down. If I say I want to just work with speakers, how would I just draw in people who are already kind of going already?
Okay. Well, you won't. You'll draw in everyone,
Yeah.
and then it's up to you to sift, sort, and screen. So
Okay.
a whole bunch of people come into the funnel. It's up to
Right.
your system to filter down to just the ones you want to work with.
Okay. Okay. So I've been doing that manually, and that's not really working.
No, no,
Uh,
no. Like I noticed one of the things that you should stop doing is allowing anyone to just book a call with you.
okay.
Right? I
Right.
I I can't remember where it was. I found your calendar. Oh, it was a link to
Hmm.
your calendar,
Yeah.
and Saturday was on there, and I was
I'm
like I could like right now I could just get on your calendar with a push of a button. I could be some crazy rando out there. Well, I kind of am, right? But I could just like pop onto your calendar. No filtration whatsoever.
Very true. Very true. And I just kind of threw that up there so that people, I actually have like a forum thing where you actually talk about your budget and stuff like that. But most people don't just breeze right on through that. They just, put their name down and come. But yeah, I just kind of threw that up. I wasn't sure, how to kind of like that friendly thing you said earlier. I don't know. Am I not being friendly if I don't, put that up there? Or is there's no way to contact me? Or, like, I'm not sure. How should I go about that? Should I just wait till I reach out to them or?
No, no, you want them to contact you. Like everything
Okay.
that I teach is about inbound. I'm not I don't really care for outbound.
Okay.
I took those hard knocks early in my career, did
Mm-hmm.
cold calling, the whole
Yeah.
works,
Yeah.
and I don't like it.
Yeah. It's definitely hard.
Yeah, I just don't like it. So
Yeah.
what I did was learn how to do marketing so that I could get people to come to me. Well, when
Right.
people come to you, well,
Mm-hmm.
how do you filter them? What do you do right now to filter people?
I am not filtering them. So what typically happens is someone books the call. You say anyone can book a call. Let's say they found me on LinkedIn and they book a
Hmm.
call. And they fill out this little form. I have about 5 questions, really basic. What's your website, social media, budget, whatever, right?
Right.
By the time I get on the call with them, it's a short 10-minute call. And, they're telling me what their issue is. And, I've been doing this for 5 months or whatever, and I'm having a problem with my social media. Can you help me? And obviously, I can't give them a real strategy in 10 minutes. And so from there, they're really just booking a consultation, which is paid.
Okay.
And that's kind of where most people fall off it. They feel like that consultation part is not really what they want to do. They just kind of want me to throw a price out, and I can't do that because I don't know what their story is, what they've come from, what they've done. And that's kind of
Right.
what I try to explain to them.
Okay. So there's nothing wrong with having that 10-minute call, a pre-qualification call. I like to filter before that, like before anyone gets on a calendar. You got to give me some information just to get on my calendar.
Okay.
If you allow people to get on the calendar and then give you information, you got to be hardcore about it.
Okay.
You have to have a follow-up sequence that says if you don't fill out the form,
Hmm.
we're not getting on a call.
Okay. Okay. See, and I don't know I'm even asking enough questions. So I'm just asking your basic, what's your website and kind of what are your social media. I'm not really digging into anything. I'm just like you said, they can just come off the street and just put something and get on my calendar.
Yep.
That's kind of how that's set up right now.
You don't have to filter too deeply. If somebody won't answer like 5 questions, then you
They're
don't
probably
want
not.
to. Yeah, you don't want to talk to them, right? You
Okay.
don't want to give somebody 10 minutes who will not give you 5 answers to 5 questions.
Right. Seriously. Yeah.
Then on that 10 minutes, what do you ask them about?
So during that 10 minutes, it's more like an introductory kind of thing. Who are you? What do you do? What issue are you kind of having? And they kind of go over what it is that they've been doing on the social media, if they have an email address or not. They kind of give me that rundown of why they need my help, why they even book my little calendar thing.
Okay.
That's when I kind of, explain to them, what my services kind of are and kind of what the next step would be, which is that consultation on going into their actual social media strategy. And that's usually like an hour paid thing. And I don't think I charge a lot. I think I charge very cheaply. But I still have people go from, booked on the talk, and then they don't quite cross over to the actual paid thing, which is what I need them to be doing.
Right, right,
Girl got to get paid, so
right.
I don't want to just spew things out on the call and be like, oh, you need to do this, that. I want to, get them over there.
So
So,
what's the objection? You keep saying price
hmm
and that you're cheap,
hmm
right? So you keep
hmm
saying those two things. So
yes.
why don't they book? What's the real answer?
I've heard a couple of things, and they seem to be very similar. I get things like, oh, well, I need to finish blah, 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 and then I'll contact you later. Or I'll get things like, I need to ask my husband.
Yep.
Or, oh, this sounds great. I'll get back in contact with you once I XYZ.
Right.
And of course, me not being a salesperson, I don't know how to come back and say anything really. I just kind of let them go and, thanks for the talk or whatever. And that's that.
Okay. Well, most of the people, you probably do just want to let them go away. But
Okay.
one of the things I suspected was that the way your site looked, that you
Hmm.
would have nearly a 100% female audience,
Hmm.
and that one of the things would be, I need to ask my husband about paying.
Yeah.
About 6 years ago, strangely enough, I was the guru to an advisor to the scrapbooking industry.
Oh, wow.
Don't know why. It was one of those weird things. I advised some of the top scrapbookers in that industry and
What?
how they could grow their business.
Wow.
And nearly every, well, yeah, not nearly every single one of them had that
Hmm.
problem.
Okay.
Whether it was a $5 thing
Hmm.
or a $500 thing.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
That's because you're not dealing with actual entrepreneurs.
Okay.
You're not dealing with business owners. You're not dealing with managers. You're not dealing with any of those people. So you should probably just let them go.
Okay. I mean,
Unless,
I accidentally do it anyway. I accidentally let them go.
right?
But yeah, like you said.
But then on the, I need to get things in order. So me being a business coach, I get that one all the time. Number one objection I get. Well, yeah, all this sounds great. I want to get started, but I want to get a few things in order before we start. And I'm like, I always thought it was weird that people who had a housekeeper would straighten up their house before the housekeeper showed up because they didn't want the housekeeper to see just how messy their house really got.
Right.
Right? Kind of defeats the purpose of having a housekeeper. And I've had a lot of friends do that very thing.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, at least I know it's not just me.
Okay? So then if you have someone who says this and you just give the housekeeper analogy. Well,
Okay.
I'm the housekeeper. My
Hmm.
job is to clean that stuff up for you.
Hmm.
So let me come in and help you clean up. So if you start doing that, you're going to think you're solving particular problems that you think I'm going to solve. But we haven't even done our strategy session yet. We haven't even gotten to your business yet. So how could you even know what I'm going to try to solve for you without ever having that conversation?
Right. Right. And I think that I need to really, like you said, kind of verbally communicate that a little bit more instead of just kind of, like you said, some of them should fall off. But for the other ones, really kind of communicate like, hey, I really think I can really help you here if you go to the next step on the consulting strategy. So I think that that's really important because I'm not getting them from the free to the paid because of that.
Right.
I think,
Right.
yeah.
So I don't want you to let people just go, right? So
Okay.
you need to get in the habit of asking people to do the thing.
Okay.
And
Okay.
if they say no, they give you any kind of objection, you ask them, well, why?
Okay.
Why is that an important thing to deal with right now? Why do you need to ask for this? Why do you need to do whatever the objection is? Well,
Mhm.
why? I'm just seeing if I can help you, because the best way to get all your questions answered is to talk to me right now.
Right.
Even the ones that you shouldn't take money from, I still want you to try to get money from them.
Okay.
Right? Don't let them get off the phone until after you've hit every objection they got.
Okay. Okay. That's definitely the opposite of what I've been doing. I'm like, oh, you can't? Okay, bye.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, that's huge. I think that's huge because I'm not getting them over to the paid area.
Yeah, you need practice. So people are contacting you, that's great. So practice. Even if they will never give you a dime, practice on getting that dime.
Okay. I think that's huge. That's like a huge part of my issue outside of my overall presence is just not too friendly, probably. Then there's the outreach aspect of things. There's me actually going to someone else, which I don't know, should I even keep doing that until I have a better brand presence? I'm not sure. I'm really like,
do you want to get paid?
yes.
Right.
Yes. Please.
Right. So that's the thing. All my advice ever on my channel falls into two camps. The build your authority, and that's going to take a while to do. You can do all the hustling and you can build up the augmented reality in a relatively short amount of time, but it'll still take a while for people to see you as that authority, the one that they need.
Right.
Then they will reach out and do business with you. Well, I don't know how long that's going to take. That might take a few weeks. That might take a few months. No, it won't take a few years, but it will take it could potentially take a long time if you're just waiting for people to show up.
Right.
Right. But if you are working, if you need to make money, well, then you go out and make money. You just do it. It's going to suck. It's not fun. People are going to reject you over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. Trust me, I know.
But one of them is going to be like, Adora, I think you're spot on. This is exactly what I need. And they'll say, let's move to that next step. Let's do this thing. And then you'll go out and you'll keep going after a whole bunch more. And then you'll get another one that goes, yep, what you're saying is spot on. That is exactly what I need. Let's do this thing.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. So I've been trying to do outreach. I'm slowly learning, how to message people and not sound spammy and really try to communicate what I do without pressuring people. But again, I don't know if I'm being friendly and not necessarily, getting to the point. I don't know how to balance that. You don't want to come across as spammy, but you also need to let them know, like, hey, I can help, I think, so that's a whole nother aspect of why I'm not attracting right people.
Well, being friendly, and I had this conversation with Mboso, and he was trying to be liked.
Yeah.
But
that's what they tell us on the internet. They say we have to be, friendly and give free advice. And, we try to do that and then we don't make any sales.
Exactly. So here's the thing. You get an email or a message on LinkedIn and it says, here's some free stuff for you. What do you think about that?
I get it all the time. And honestly, I usually don't even have the time to even look at what the free stuff is. And so I don't, I usually don't have time to follow up with those people. And that's just kind of my perspective.
What do you think about them? What do you think is their motive for sending you free stuff?
Well, they've probably heard what we've all heard, that you have to have all this free information out for the world to use. And that's the only way you can attract clients. Like, you hear it everywhere you go.
Yep.
So they're probably trying to practice that. And, they ran into me and I just don't have time to, I don't have the time to read their free information because I'm trying to work on something else.
Okay. So all you have to do especially on LinkedIn, is when you get
Hmm.
one of those messages, just
Hmm.
accept their connection request. What is the very next thing that happens?
Typically, they send me something very long, that again, I don't have time to read. It's like, hi, my name is X, and then there's like a whole life story thing that I don't have time to go through. And I know they have good intentions. It's just I don't have the time to go through it each time.
Well, yeah, they have good intentions for themselves.
Right.
Their intention is to get you to buy something,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So I get these all the time, and
Hmm.
I, as soon as I see something with
Hmm.
like a specific title, if they
Hmm.
have something like I help coaches, consultants and stuff, instantly I don't connect with them because I did enough of those to
Yeah.
know that the very next message is
Hmm.
you should buy my stuff. You should get on a call with me, and things like that. It's because it's no one's doing anything unique. They're all going out there trying to do something to get your attention.
Yep.
Maybe this is to um, you know, offer you the free stuff. And so the very next message
Hmm.
is, let's move this thing up in the sales process. Like, you don't even know who I am. We've not
Right.
even communicated yet, and you're
Right.
already trying to move me to the next step.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. Exactly.
I am more impressed by people who just come in and just say, "You let's get on a call. Let's just buy, just buy my stuff." Right?
Hmm.
Because those people are just being honest,
Right.
because they know for a fact that that's why I'm reaching out to you.
Okay.
Most of those just don't ever do their research, so they don't know if I'm actually in their target market or not.
Right. Right. Yeah, because some of them actually do probably something very similar to me, but they're trying to sell me the same thing that I do. So I know they haven't read my profile.
Exactly. So it's like, why would you connect with them? So that's most people. So most people do outreach terribly. I always talk about make a hit list. Know who you're going to work with. You
Hmm.
don't know who you want to work with yet. So that makes it very difficult for you to be able to get paid, because you don't even know who you can serve.
Right. I agree. I agree. Because I've bounced all over the place. Like I've worked with coaches and speakers, like I said, and then I've been on the other end of things where I work with realtors and stuff. And so I haven't
Mhm.
narrowed it down like Adora, who do you really like who should you really be trying to target here? And I think that
Yeah, the one of the problems is that you're actually targeting broke ass people.
that is 100% true.
So
That's 100% true.
most of the people who list themselves as a coach, most of the people who list themselves as a speaker or something like
Yep.
that, most of them don't make any money.
Okay. Maybe that's the main
Realtors,
problem.
realtors, most of them don't make any money.
Okay.
So if you're going to go after realtors or coaches,
Hmm.
speakers, you go after the ones that are identifiably making money.
Okay. So it sounds like I really need to get that part together. I really need to figure out who can I target, who actually is the established business person that I'm saying that I want, and not the new internet entrepreneur. So I think that's
Yep.
step one. That's
Yep.
probably step one. And then,
So let's go back before step one.
okay.
Why are you doing social media?
So my background is marketing and social media. So as when I had a 9 to 5, that's what I did at work. And so that's kind of where I build up my skill, and that's kind of where I hang out at. So
Okay.
I figured, like you always say, you should do something that you're really good at. So I know that that's where I know my skill is at. So
Okay.
I wouldn't go and try to do something that I don't know, like graphic
Okay.
designers.
So you've got this background.
Hmm.
Now, where's your legend? Like what's the legend of Adora? Like how did you become this person? How, like, and becoming that person, how do you solve problems for people? Can you describe who that legend, the thing that people are going to go like, yeah, I need that?
Yeah. So I think that, and what I usually hear on these 10-minute calls is people are looking for someone to help them build that brand presence. They are not getting traffic to their site. They are not getting any engagement. They are literally just posting and it's crickets out there, right?
Okay.
So I am really good at causing noise, getting attention, and engaging with people, whether it's online or offline. And
Okay.
so when I'm online, it's social media. And so that's kind of what I offer when people come to me to really help them make that noise online through
Okay.
social media.
Okay. What was the company before? What industry was it in that you worked for?
So I've worked for a lot of industries. One of the major brands was Staples. So
Okay.
everybody recognizes Staples.
Mm-hmm.
Also worked at a large investment banking company on Wall Street. So I've got a lot of experience in different like industries and things like that. So that's kind of, so I know marketing. I know how to, build that noise in different industries. So that is a strength of mine. I just don't know how, since I'm independent now, I don't have I'm not at a 9 to 5. How do I attract people that are in these different industries, making money to what I do specifically?
Okay. All right. So, uh, why, after you did those jobs, why
Mhm.
did you not go after companies like them?
I think because I'm afraid that I'm not big enough. I feel like I'm not, I haven't been out here years and years. I don't have a decade under my belt. I don't know how can I really convince a marketing manager, especially in times like today, you know, I don't know if I can do that. And I think that that's something I'm also wrestling with
Okay.
as well.
Yeah. Did you watch the coaching session with Tiago?
I sure did.
All right. So, guy's marketing director, right?
Yep.
And so where'd he go? To the bottom of the market.
Yep.
You were
Yep.
you did social media on Wall Street
Yep.
and Staples. So
Yep.
where'd you go?
Now I'm just
Even lower than Tiago. You went to
I'm
people
in
who
the
don't even
trenches.
have businesses. It's like
Right.
they don't even have a business. At least Tiago was going after people who had verifiable businesses.
Right. Right. It's kind of sad. It's really sad. I think it's just not having that confidence, I don't really have that confidence. I don't know what to say. It's all of that, that stops you from going.
Yeah. So that's why I've been so focused lately on building augmented reality. It's how we are perceived. You do social media, like
Hmm.
you see, how many fake accounts do you see? People who just like
Oh yeah.
getting influencer deals and
Hmm.
stuff, and they have
Yep.
fake lives,
Yep.
right?
Yep. You can do that now.
Yeah, and some don't even fly anymore. They just got really good at green screening
It's
and
sad. It's
do
crazy.
so. Yeah, right. It's augmented reality.
Hmm.
It's
Yep.
AR. It's they change it, and then there's actual. I've even seen over the last few years virtual reality where they actually make social media characters. They're animated. They're not real human beings. They're not real, and yet, but they put this animated character in
Hmm.
real places,
Yep. I've
right?
seen that too. That was so weird.
And those
But people are
accounts,
following them though. They're
yeah.
following them and engaging with them still.
Yes. They know they're fake.
Yeah, they do. I'm like, wow, really, guys?
But if there was an awesome account that looked like Superman was real,
Hmm.
I'm going to talk to Superman, right?
That's true. That's true.
I know he's not real, but
Yeah.
I'd still talk to Superman,
Right. Right.
right?
Still. Yeah.
Still, right? So we live in an era where augmented reality and even virtual reality are acceptable.
Hmm.
What I'm saying is that people like you, Tiago and Mboso and a million others that I've worked with, believe yourself to be way down here because you don't know how to tell your story up here. You already have the expertise. You already have the skills. What you're not doing is telling the world that your skills are up here. You're telling the world my skills are way down here.
Exactly.
Okay,
I am
so
very aware of that.
so what are you gonna do about it?
That's what I need to figure out, Tim. I need to figure out how to really turn this around quickly.
Okay, so the part of you're gonna have to do a few things at the same time.
Okay.
One is crafting who Adora is. Who am I? Who do I serve?
Okay.
Then the next part of that is the serving part is identifying people that you can that you have a pretty strong suspicion that you could get really good results for.
Okay.
And then you got to know, well, what are those results that, because what you determine are good results also has to match up with what the client thinks are good results.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So if your thing is, man, I get you a lot of buzz, I get create some noise out there, people will pay attention to you, and the person's like, well, I want leads.
Yeah.
It's like
That's two different things.
Yeah, two different things. So you have to find the person who wants buzz, that wants to build that social awareness so that it will eventually lead to booked speaking gigs or whatever the thing is.
Okay. Okay. That makes 100% sense.
If I'm successful, what I will hopefully see is on LinkedIn, someone reaching out to me, cold emailing me and saying, we can augment your reality. Like as soon as I like, I will know I have made it when that happens, right? When somebody pitches me on the thing that I teach, right?
Yeah.
That would, because I think that's some of what you do is like in social media is, especially if you're going after individuals, is they need to augment their reality so that audiences will actually pay attention to them because they need a large enough audience because then because that will lead to them getting speaking gigs, book deals, other things like that, or to sell their courses or whatever else they have. They need the audience, and you can craft their reality for them.
Right. Right. So like you said, it's really kind of communicating that, you know, even if it is cold outreach, like this is what I offer, this is what I can do for you, you know.
Yep. Okay. So one of the parts is the easiest place to make money is where you made money before, right? Not, oh my gosh, like I'm too small for Staples. Well, what other is there any other retail office supplies? Are there any other office supply distributors? Are there any other things that you can use Staples as a case study? Depending on if you've got a strong NDA, you might, only be able to say so much. But if you can use that as a case study, okay, well, what about Wall Street? Why would Wall Street want your skills? Do you have connections still at any of these places?
Yeah, I actually do.
Right? Okay. So then one of the things that you could focus on is to go after your past network and say, hey, with the chaos that's going on right now, we can get out your message. We can get people to actually pay attention to your message because you're wanting to especially on Wall Street, anything related to money, everybody's trying to reassure the populace.
Right.
right?
Exactly.
I can do that. Contract basis. Here's what here's what we would do. We do this planning session.
Hmm.
Phase 1,
Yeah.
planning session.
Yeah.
Phase 2, asset creation, because
Mhm.
it's got to get through legal, right? You can't
Yeah.
just make
Yeah.
assets and push them out,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Got to get those assets through legal. So then
Hmm.
asset creation gets
Hmm.
through legal. After it gets through legal, you are going to distribute those assets and engage with those people, or help the people who need to engage on those accounts do so properly.
Okay. Okay. So I can either do more of a consulting kind of thing, or I can actually do the services for them.
Yes, depending on what they need. If they're bigger companies, they already have the people.
Yeah.
But they're like, yeah, we're just not getting this message out properly.
Okay. Okay. So much to think about, Tim.
Yes, yes. So these are all the things that we have to do at the exact same time.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
scary, and this is the hard part about being an entrepreneur, is that
Hmm.
it's not sequential. It's a fire hose,
Yeah,
right?
I'm
It's
learning
like
that the
the
hard
whole.
way.
It's like, so Tim, what one thing should I do? Oh, well, all the
50
things.
things,
Yes.
100 things,
Yeah, all of them, right?
and many things you can.
As many things you can that are all going in the same direction. Because
Right.
if like a fire hose sprayed in a million different directions, it wouldn't put out a fire. It
Exactly.
works because it is focused.
Yep. Yep. It's aimed in right one direction.
Yes. So, but it's a lot going in one direction, right? So that's what you have to figure out. You don't have a solid direction. You you want to be you,
Hmm.
and to the point of that it's preventing you from getting business,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you've got to move from that stage to the stage of, well, would an investment banker hire you? Or
Probably
assuming you
not.
would go, right? It's assuming you went into that market. Like,
Yeah.
if what would an investment banker need to see in me to say,
Hmm.
yep, Adora is the right person for us to
Yeah.
get our message out.
Yeah. They would definitely want to see, like you said, those case studies. They would want to probably go to my social media, and they probably want to see less flowers. You know, just really, just
like no
depends on, like you said,
flowers.
what interest. Yeah, they would probably go to that same page and be like, oh, she might be too girly, too small, and that's
No,
probably
not
what it
small.
would.
You almost said the right word. Too girly,
Too
right?
girly. Yeah, it does look a bit
Yes,
very girly.
not small. Small has absolutely nothing to do with it. Small is
Okay.
nimble. Small is execution. Small is able to get in through the cracks that other
Okay.
people can't do because they're too big for it.
Okay. So it's okay to be small. It's just not okay to be too girly looking, too.
Or too, the real word is not girly, it's amateur,
Right.
right?
Right.
It looks, don't look like your personal blog. Look like the company that solves these kind of problems.
Okay.
Whatever those problems are,
Yeah.
you have to look like you've got your lab coat on.
Okay. Okay. I can do that, Tim. I know I can.
I know you can too. All right.
I can do that. I just need to redo that whole thing.
Okay. Now, with all that said, do you have any additional questions for me?
I think you've given me a lot of to go off of. I think I needed to just change my whole image a little bit and kind of focus on who my target is. And I think I'll get a
Hmm.
lot further with my marketing
Yep.
effort from there.
All
So,
right. Perfect.
but you've been
Perfect.
very helpful, Tim.
I'm glad. Like, that's what I've been trying to do, is like try to be super helpful, and I'm having fun with doing these kind of coaching sessions,
Mhm.
because like, let's get all the things that I say on my
Mhm.
channel
Yeah.
focused directly on one person's problem.
Yeah, yeah. It's been very helpful. I'm sure it's going to help a lot of other people too. They're probably in the same situation I'm in, the immature level.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And not an amateur. That's the thing, right?
Right.
Tiago, Mboso. I've done these three now, and it's
Mhm.
not amateurs
Right.
yet putting themselves out there like they are.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's because we listen to all the buzz on the internet on what we should do, and next thing you know, you're lower and lower and lower, and you're not paying attention to what you have to offer. So
Right.
I slip into that crack as well.
Yep. All right. I hope you got a lot of value out of this coaching session with Adora Drake. If you're in that same position where you're getting people coming to you who don't have money, you're probably portraying yourself as an amateur. You're probably portraying everything to the world that you don't really know what you're doing, that you're just doing this as a hobby at best. Decide what kind of client you really want to work for, what you're capable of doing for them, and then put that message out. All right? And put your finger on that like button, subscribe, share, and do all the socials. And I'll see you in the next video. Oh, before you go, check out this playlist. This is going to be the playlist for all the audience coaching sessions that I do. So go there, watch them all. You'll get incredible value from seeing how the advice that I give on this channel plays out in their business.